Hiya guys, it's Brandon from Team Ragnarok here, bringing you another video. Today I'm here with my teammate Liam.
What's up guys?
And today we're going to do a discussion video on the new Nextage set and kind of quickly going through the 3 new VRs and then basically where we think that Neo, Nectar, Royal Paladin and Gear Chronicle are going to be placed in the meta and what we think they're going to do and where we kind of rank them ourselves. So first of all, we'll just start off with Nextage.
Mr. Free Real Estate.
Yeah. Now, when it came to being trial decks being revealed,
It's very predictable what Nextage was going to do.
yeah, it was very predictable what it was going to do. Anyone that played the game from G kind of knew what they were going to do, especially when we could see that they're trying to scratch that nostalgic itch.
That's why they brought out Altmile, Ahsha and
Yeah, but what I think as well is, when it came to trial decks, and we saw what the trial decks did, no one was really that impressed with the gear one. It wasn't great. And the community said, and we had said within the team as well, that it kind of all depends on what Nextage does. They kind of are really hoping on what Nextage does.
Right now Bushro's really pumping on that nostalgia factor, especially with the set coming out after.
Yeah.
The Cross, Gallop, Susanoo.
But in terms of gears, okay, so what Nextage does is an auto on Vanguard. When it attacks, or at the end of the battle, it's attacked a grade 3 or greater Vanguard. You can discard 2 cards, ride a Chronojet from your soul. For the duration of the turn, that Chronojet will gain 15k, and you cannot ride for the rest of the turn.
So what you can do with this, with Chronojet, is you combine it with a grade 2 from Astral Force, discard a card, give it a drive.
So it gives it even more value.
And then Chronojet can just go counterblast, no sentinels.
Yeah, so obviously people would know already, but just in case you don't, Chronojet says Vanguard Rearguard, when it swings, you can counterblast 1, it gains 5k, and your opponent can't guard with sentinels. Now, what this also works against is my teammate and I, Leo, were discussing this. This stops the new crits, because they have the keyword Sentinel, and Chronojet says you can't guard with Sentinels.
Yeah.
So you can't guard with those crits, which is very spicy. It also makes the deck a lot stronger.
So Sentinel restricts stop that, so things like Ravenhead just go nope.
And Waterfall.
Yeah. Okay, so they're going to get a bit more value.
Yeah, so the thing with Nextage is, we all knew it was just going to let you ride into Chronojet and get another attack. What we didn't know was it was going to let him have 15k on top.
Yeah, that's very beefy.
And you've got to remember, Chronojet has a force marker, so
you could go Force 2.
Yeah, but if you go Force 2 or Force 1, you generate another marker, which is great. Force 1 pumps this thing up. And I think, in my opinion, if I'm going second, I'd go Force 1.
If you go first, you go Force 2.
If I'm going Force 2, I would go Force 2 Metallica Phoenix.
And then Quad Drive.
What they did do with Nextage is saying that it has to attack a grade 3 or greater Vanguard. So it means that if you go first, you can't just absolutely BM your opponent with a first turn Nextage.
Also, the best about Nextage, you can just normal ride it.
Yeah. You can normal ride it, and then because of the way it's designed, it allows you to, get back to your grade 3 at the end of your turn. You've also got that grade 1 from the Answer of Truth that can just put your next stages back.
Yep.
Overall, really solid card. I mean, if you go Force 1, your Chronojet's hitting 51k. No Sentinels. Fun. You've got that grade 2 that's synergized as well with every gear deck, which can just give things drive checks.
The funny thing I've found with this gear deck is that you run the Chrono Tiger grade 1s and grade 2s.
But to be honest, outside of Nextage, the deck isn't doing a whole lot.
Rebellion is unique.
I think Rebellion is unique, but gears still aren't doing that push that they need, in my opinion. I think Nextage is the best they're going to get.
Nextage is that push that they need, but Rebellion, I like the way Rebellion plays.
I think Rebellion will be the more fun deck. I think if you want to play it competitively, next stage is the way to go, but I don't think it pushes them as hard as they needed to.
Because the issue with Rebellion is hand. In this current, the way the current game is, you need your hand.
But what I do like about next stage, and what I like about this set, is we are finally moving out of the Excel meta and moving into a Force meta. And that's not just because I'm a Force player.
We're both Force players.
But this deck doesn't care about Vanquisher. You can literally just keep swinging with Metallica, you can swing with next stage, and there's still a lot of pressure on them. The deck has had consistency boosters like Smokegear, which have, definitely bumped the deck up. But I think with this, for me, we'll just have to wait and see what it does. I definitely think it'll be a very good deck. It'll be definitely up there. I just don't think it'll be the best. Moving on, we'll go on to my boys Royal Paladin.
Fofi Royal main.
And I am very, very happy with the support in this set. Going from, like a mid-tier 2 deck to going to a very strong meta deck, in my opinion.
What's Royal Paladin? I just know about Blaster Blade, the clan.
Yeah, and that's what I like as well, is now we have another option instead of playing Blaster Blade. Until MLB comes out, and then everyone's going to go back to Blaster Blade. But
the only other deck beforehand that didn't need Blaster Blade was Soul Saver. But because of Pluck Enchanter, and Soul Charge, when you play the Blaster Blade, people were still kind of running Blaster Blade for the Soul Charge effect.
Now, let's get on to Aerial Divine Knight. This card...
Mr. Spice.
This card is absolutely what Royal Paladin needed outside of Ganslot and whatnot. Continuous. If all your damage is face down, all of your grade 2s gain 10k power, 5k shield, and if you have an Altmile in your soul, they also gain a crit. That's continuous, so it's during your turn and during your opponent's turn. It's also got an act skill, which is once per turn. These are both Vanguard skills. You can Count Blast 1 and Soul Blast 1 and call up to a grade 2 from your deck and a grade 2 from your drop. This is amazing.
So you get hit against retirement, you can just...
Yeah, they've given Royals recovery, which is amazing, because the deck used to struggle a lot against stuff like Blade Master.
The only recovery that Royals had before was Monarch Sanctuary and Gamoris, which has shot up in price.
Yeah, and I think, for me, Aerial Divine Knight is a very solid card by itself, but unlike Next Stage, when Next Stage can do the job fully by itself, Aerial Divine Knight cannot.
It requires rearguards.
Because Aerial Divine Knight itself does not give itself a crit, so it is still just a beat stick. So, with this deck, it will very much, for this set, it didn't really matter if the VR did too much. It mattered on what the support cards did. And Starlight Violinist, for example, is
the key card in the deck.
Yeah, it's the best card out of the set. It makes the deck, because it says that if all your damage is face down, all your grade 2s gain boost and intercept from the back row. And it is amazing. The fact that it gives everything boost and intercept makes this so much stronger, because if you're an Aerial Divine Knight, that Violinist will be behind your Vanguard, and there'll now be a 20k booster. So that makes Aerial Divine Knight 33. Also makes all your grade 2s 10k intercepts, but it also gives them 10k in crit. So you've got 20k in your front rows, and you've got 20k in your back rows, so you've got at least 40k columns.
40k columns 2 crit, and if you're being, the rude and going Force 2, there'll be 3 crits.
Now, I think, and you can say this might be a bit biased because I'm a Royal main myself, I think fundamentally this card is better than Next Stage. Better than Gears, not Next Stage.
I'm going to look at things like analytics here. It seems very good on card, but I'll just wait till it comes out and see what the results are.
Yeah, and I think bear that in mind. Take what we're saying with a pinch of salt. because what we're saying might completely change when results start coming in, and after this whole
Mr. Bites over there.
yeah, and this whole after this whole Corona thing is finished and we start getting tournaments back up, we'll see. But fundamentally on paper, I kind of think we're just going to see a bit more of this. Now you've got to bear in mind as well, representation is going to be a big thing to see what's meta.
A lot of countries have a different list because of how people play a state. Like England's, they're a lot. What the top 3 clans is,
It's
Aquaforce.
normally between Kagero, Aquaforce, and Narukami's always been a big one in the UK, and Shadow Paladin and things like that.
A bit edgy.
But I think they're all very solid decks, so I will be happy wherever they place. I don't really think the 2 that we've discussed right now are tier 2 decks, in my opinion. I think we're going to be in a meta where everything's going to be pretty solid and everything has a chance of...
Bushiroad are being good with their releases at the moment. Like, everything... Standard is in a very good place. Standard, it's... Any deck can win.
Okay, so now moving on to Ahsha, which I know you were looking forward to.
Yeah, Ahsha is...
So Dream Spinning Ranunculus Ahsha, which used to be, the old original stride for her. What she does is continuous Vanguard. During your turn, if you have 2 or more units with Ahsha in their card names, this unit gains plus 10k. If you have 3 or more, it gains a critical. And it also has an act, Vanguard once per turn, cost, Soul Blast 1 and retire 2 rearguards, and call an Ahsha Flower Fairy token to rearguard. So obviously the Ahsha Fairy tokens have the same power and the critical of your Ahsha Vanguard.
So you hit a trigger, you just give it to your Vanguard.
Yep, and they will copy that power, meaning there is no point in boosting, because if you boost they won't gain the boost power.
But there is a grade 1 that can give those boost?
Yes, it gives things boost, but however, I wouldn't give the fairy tokens boost because they will have crit, and if they're boosting, their crit won't matter.
So I think in this deck you go Force 1.
Now, for me, this is interesting.
It's Neo. It's moved Neo to the point where we don't know how it's going to do because it's completely new. It's not plant tokens. It's a whole new type of token.
And before we continue, that's a very important point to explain. These are not plant tokens. So your old plant token generation cards do not work with the fairy tokens.
No, so it's like what is a grade 1 that if it's in the same kind of plant token, it can't be chosen by your opponent's card effects.
That will not work with the fairy token. Now back to what you're saying about they can go Force 1. What I find interesting about Neos is either one is really strong.
Because the tokens will gain the power or they'll gain the crit.
Now, for me, I think I would want to try it with Force 2, in my opinion. Because you put that onto your Vanguard, you ride this, you have 2 fairy tokens. So your Vanguard
you don't even need 2 fairy tokens,
no,
you just need
token what you do is you ride, to get maximum value, say you go first, you ride the original, you get 1 fairy token already. You ride this next turn, you've protected your fairy token from last turn. You do the skill and get another 1. Your Vanguard's gained a crit and then 10k, so now your whole front row is 23k with 3 crit. Not including boost.
Also, what I find a bit rude is if you're playing against Axel Protect, they've got to boost to kill that token.
Yeah. And that's what I love, is unless you're playing Retirement or... The only thing I can see this deck struggling with is Vanquisher.
Yeah.
Because unlike Altmile and Gears, because Gears doesn't really care about its front row, even that grade 2 that gives drive check, you can put that in the back row. Now, the difference with Neos is they don't have a lot of recovery.
They just have a lot of cards that spawn plant tokens which you can use to get recovery, but you're still using your Counterblast and Soul resources, which Neos don't have a countercharger.
No, and using your Counterblast, your Soul Blast, but what also, with Ahsha, you have to retire things, right, which is fine. But, say if you have 2 fairy tokens, they kill both of them. then that's that's more effort to then build that back up, meaning you're already in kind of a losing battle. Also, the one thing that Ahsha relies on that the other two don't rely on, she relies on you hitting triggers on your Vanguard. I think she's the most RNG deck out of the three.
But it's still going to boost Neo's to a better spot than it has been.
100%. I think, though, in my opinion, looking at the support, Arboros is looking to get a lot stronger as well.
Yeah, because you've just got a load of cards that say, "Oh, call 2 plant tokens." Or if you're on Sephiroth, those are 10k plant tokens. Those are scary, and you can run that grade one that says they can't be chosen. So Vanquisher can't select them. Yeah. The only thing they've got that can do anything to them.
So I think Neo's as a whole is going to be stronger, but the one thing that Ahsha doesn't really have, in my opinion, is protection and recovery. I don't get me wrong, even if I think we're going to go into a force meta, do not ignore Vanquisher or Blade Master or anything like that.
Especially when I get a new Blade Master.
Yeah, and I think that's my only issue with Ahsha. Is I think the other two clans are going to age quite well because of how they're designed.
I think with Neos, their best bet is if I don't know. Ahsha is kind of RNG reliant, but the more consistent build will be Sephiroth.
Yeah,
and maybe Musketeers.
Yeah, I just don't think Ahsha is going to age as well as the other two are.
It might be good on release due to people playing it. But going a few months down the line, when the next set drops, you've got the Cross and Blade Master running around.
Now, this is what you've got to remember. We will do a meta-analysis later down the line when we've seen results. However, do not take anything, as concrete for the first week or two of release because hype will be everywhere.
Like the first 2 weeks when Agravain came out, that was topping everywhere, but then you realise it goes against Force. It has a very hard matchup because Agravain himself doesn't really gain power.
Yeah, and the rates slow down dramatically. But now that we've gone through kind of the VRs and everything, so in terms of trial decks, when you pick up the trial decks, we've got about a month before release of the set.
Yeah, you got the trial decks. Then you got the MLB Prim collection, and then you got the actual set.
No, MLB comes out afterwards. MLB comes out in July.
With the Premium collection?
Premium collection is separate, but MLB is not with the Premium. I think that MLB is with the Premium collection. Time. Yeah, but MLB is in July for the UK, and the Nextage set is in June. With the trial decks. Definitely think Gears is the weakest one.
Because Chronojet kind of needs Nextage.
But the only thing that trial deck has going for it is Metallica and Chronojet. Now, in my opinion...
Groovy for next support?
Yes, please. In my opinion, I think the best trial deck is Altmile.
Yeah, Altmile's good, right out the box.
I have seen a lot of people saying it's Ahsha, and I can completely understand why, because Ahsha is a very strong trial deck as well. You could make the argument that they're both as strong as each other. The only argument that I make is for a trial deck, Altmile has the best recovery still. Blue Sky Knight, Can Blast 1, discard 1, search it up for 2 grade 2s. Yeah, cool. I just don't think it will struggle with recovery. It's also a free 15k. It's a free 20k, 28k swing on Vanguard or Rearguard. I just think it's the best value out of the box.
Wait, is the Chadic Ahsha Vanguard Rearguard for its plant token skill?
The on place is Vanguard Rearguard.
Because you could run Ahsha with Sephiroth. The Chadic one.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people are thinking of doing. Now, obviously, if you're thinking of doing that, kind of mixing things around, then Neo's is probably going to be the stronger one. What I've seen a lot of people doing with Gears, which I think is really good as well, is mixing, obviously, making the Mystery Flare Turbo deck.
Yeah,
I think in the meantime they'll be very strong.
like turn 3, Mystery Flare, extra turn, please, thanks.
Yeah. Although to be completely honest,
Honest is a Yu-Gi-Oh card, Brandon, calm down.
I think if you're combining it with old support, Neos will be good out the box.
Yeah.
Just the
With
Neos,
Neos, a lot of the cards just synergize with each other well. Because it's all plant token and token generation.
But then that is also the problem with Ahsha is
there's too much for you to put in there. We have a limit.
With Ahsha, she doesn't synergize as well with the older support. Not
Whereas Sephiroth synergizes with the old support and the support coming in.
Whereas Altmile synergizes very well with the old stuff.
With any grade 2.
out the box, say if I wanted to kind of mix and match it with the raw support we got now until the set comes out, you could make Gancelot Altmile and have Altmile as your backup and search for your Gordons, your Blaster Blades, and you run Liverot. Liverot is a staple now. Ahsha, in my opinion...
Been upgraded Country Mithril.
Yes. But I don't think... From what I've seen from the Ahsha trial deck, it hasn't really got anything staple that I can see Neo's using for a long time. Not like Liverot, where it's a staple in every Royal deck, or Smokegear.
Yeah, that thing.
Because I know part of Smokegear skill is Chronojet exclusive, but the draw isn't. So, stuff like that, in my opinion. Ahsha's Fairy Token generation is only Vanguard. Now, with the trial deck Ahsha, the only thing I don't like is the retire free to get a token. Now, in my opinion, you're going to see a lot of Ahsha decks running 12 crit. Because why would you not? But, in that case, they're not going to get a lot of hand. They're not going to be able to recover that.
I was thinking of running 10 crit, 2 draw, 4 heal.
Yeah. So, okay, without bias from me aside, when the set releases...
I think Altmile will be the strongest deck out that set.
I think
Chronojet's the most free.
Yeah.
Ahsha is the most situational.
I think the only thing that I think Ahsha will struggle from is I don't think it'll age as well. Especially going into the new set.
What might happen is Ahsha might get a few tops for the next month or two, but it will mostly be Sephiroth because Sephiroth is consistent.
Yeah,
and Cecilia is still a great grade 3.
I think we'll see less of Cecilia.
I think it'll be Ahsha Sephiroth.
Yeah. My only thing is between Gears and Royals. Now, consistency-wise, as a whole deck, yes, I put Royals there. Because everything that's being revealed is just so consistent, gets you what you need. We've also got Gamoris, which makes the deck even more consistent.
That, $40 promo.
Yeah, but with Gears, we're going to have to wait and see, because they have that grade 2 that give them a drive check. They don't have to put any real effort into anything. They can play a game without making a board state if they really need to against stuff like Vanquisher. And then they just go next stage for free. I think it's going to be between those two. When everyone was saying next stage will make or break the deck, I 100% agree. It all depends on what people do with it. Got to remember, now that we've got all this new stuff and these new crits, deck building is going to be very exciting. It's going to be very fun to see what people come up with.
Yeah.
So again, please take what we're saying with a pinch of salt. Ahsha may end up being the best out of the set. But looking on paper, I don't think so. Maybe really.
Do you mean card?
No. Looking on paper, I think it's nice. It's good. It's going to throw a lot of people off for a while.
But also, got to remember, we've got a new fighters pack coming soon. So new promos.
More money to splash on promos.
Please just don't do a Gamoris and have a $40 promo, please.
Yeah, I think I'm looking forward to it. I think the game's in a very good position. Obviously, I would kind of prefer that it did something.
After this set, I'm excited for Susanoo, mate. Give me that Susanoo.
Yeah, I'm happy that they've retrained a lot of G stuff.
Well, Mr. Trinity Dragon fanboy over there is loving it.
But I think, I know this is just to buy time until next year and they figure things out. But I would want some new stuff. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Please leave your thoughts and opinions down below. We'll be doing more of these kind of discussion videos and kind of what we think. We will be doing a box opening of the trial decks and the set. And we'll.
How many are you buying, Brandon?
I'm probably going to buy 8 of the trial deck. But we will also do deck profiles on whatever the team builds from the set. So you can definitely expect a royal deck profile out the gate.
Mr. Bass over there, what you doing, boy?
Yeah, and we'll potentially get a Chronojet one out the gate as well.
Do we have a gear? Oh yeah, we do have a gear team, mate.
Yeah. So again, thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time. Cheers, guys.
See you. Bye.